Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. What we're going to be talking about today is how to succeed at your first internship. Now, most of these are for internships, but some of these can also be applied to if you're just, starting your first job as a software engineer. And yeah, so basically I've done a number of different internships while I was in college, I think 5 or 6 different ones, and I've worked a number of different full-time jobs. And I think that, I have some valuable tips that I can give you guys that aren't that crazy, but if you can apply them and actually implement them into your daily life, then I think that this can actually give you a lot of success, when you're starting off at any kind of position. If you're new to the channel, my name is John Vine. What we do here is we talk about software engineering, and I try to use my experience to give you guys tips on how to become a full-time software developer yourselves. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you like the content. I think around 90% of you guys are not subscribed at the moment right now, so any sub, any like definitely helps the channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. So when you're an intern, right, when you join a company and you're an intern, you're super young and you're just starting your career, what you have to realize is that you're there to learn. Your main job at this company isn't to implement features, isn't to fix bugs. It's not like to, add a multi-million-dollar feature to the app. It's just to learn there. Your main job is for you, not for them. Right? So you're not a full-time employee, and mistakes are kind of expected. So when someone sees an intern, they don't expect perfection. They don't expect, super fast code with 0 bugs in it. What they expect is that, it's going to be bad at first. You're still learning. You might not know the languages or some sort of syntax, and they expect that, they don't necessarily have to hold your hand, but other engineers are going to be expecting to, have to help you and kind of lead you the way, especially early on into your internship when you're just starting and there's like onboarding and stuff, right? The main thing is that progress for you can be slower, and that's okay because you're an intern, right? Now, that being said, obviously you're gonna have to grow, and your trust is gonna grow and your responsibilities are gonna grow. So you do have to, work hard and adapt quickly. But right at the beginning, mistakes, it's okay if mistakes are made, it's okay because you're learning. Usually companies are very lenient with the interns, but eventually, they have to start seeing results, right? Now, the main thing when you start at a company and, you're learning a code base that you've never seen before, the important thing is as you're learning the code base to take as many notes as possible. You want to keep track of everything that you might have to ask questions about, because for example, if a senior engineer is showing you, a certain part of the code and how it works, then a month down the line, you're asking a question that they answered while they were showing you. If you had taken notes, you wouldn't have had to ask this question, right? And so this is basically just one example, but what I'm talking about is that if you take notes, you probably won't have to ask the same question over and over again in the future, and like that you become, your productivity goes up, and the engineers that you would have asked questions to earlier, their productivity goes up too, right? And if this is your first job period, like at all, what you're gonna have to do is kind of find what works for you in terms of being very productive at work and being able to focus for hours at a time. This is different for everyone, but what you're going to realize quickly is that you're going to have to be coding for hours on end, and to do that to the best of your ability, you really have to get into this state of mind where you're really concentrated, you're really focused. And for some people, that means playing some music. For some people, it means not playing music at all, maybe nature noises, whatever it is, maybe meditating. But what I would recommend is for you guys to find what works for you in terms of being extremely productive and extremely concentrated, and then kind of trying to implement that into your work routine. Now, when you get your first couple of big tasks, this is super exciting, and what you're gonna have to do is ask as many questions as you can and as you need to, especially if you're blocked, right? Like I said before, you're an intern, you're expected to be learning, so asking questions is normal. You're going to be tempted to not ask any questions because you're a student, and you're going to be afraid to ask because you don't want to seem stupid, or you don't want to make it seem like you don't know what you're doing, right? But that will only lead to worse things down the road, and I would definitely still recommend, just asking a question, getting it out of the way, and then moving on. If you get stuck, what you want to do is, you want to try and implement some of your own solutions and try to get it working on your own first before actually asking, a senior developer for a solution and for help. Don't just ask, for a solution from a senior developer. That's not how it works. Another thing is you don't want to try and only push, perfect code that is flawless without bugs and that is just 100% working right. What you're going to realize is that at first you want to kind of get it working, get it to a state where it's working, it's getting the job done, and then then you can iterate on that. This is something that I learned, and it helped me finish projects with a higher success rate. I ended up giving up less, and actually I was able to finish a lot more of my projects because I wasn't just trying to make it perfect. I was just getting it to work and then iterating. So that's really, I think, a very valuable tip. Now, another thing you have to realize is that at this point, when you're an intern and you're super you just started your career, you don't really have a lot of trust, right? And what you're going to want to do, especially if you're going to be spending a couple of months, maybe a year at this internship, is you want to be building trust with your employer. This means actually finishing tasks, by the deadline, and really being a responsible employee. Now, what I've seen a lot of places is that interns hand things in late, and they're not really doing their job to the best of their ability. But if you want to succeed, you're really going to have to go that extra mile, and that means taking advantage of all the resources available and really doing whatever it takes to get a project done. Maybe putting in extra hours, maybe asking certain questions, and pair programming, kind of getting more uncomfortable. But to build trust, you're really going to have to succeed and be really consistent. Another thing you want to do is try and wear several hats. Try and take advantage of when you're there, right? Especially if different different fields of the company and different sectors are more open and willing to work with different departments, right? And there's a lot of very valuable things you can learn from, for example, the marketing department at a software company. Don't just try to be confined to your job responsibilities. If someone else needs help, try to be there for them. I think that's something great that I've learned, and everyone has a certain knowledge to share with you. And when you're an intern, that's when you want to be absorbing as much knowledge as possible. Another thing is you want to say yes to a lot of things, but you don't want to say yes to everything. You want to be able to say no, right? You need to prioritize your own work as well and be able to finish it. And if you're saying yes to everything and constantly getting distracted, then it's kind of, it's not a good look on you. You really have to find that balance of, pleasing people, but also getting your work done and making sure that, your job is the number one priority. And this kind of next topic is something I learned more recently, and it's the idea of managing up, right? So if you think about your average workspace, right, there's going to be a manager and then maybe 10 employees. And it's going to be, and if you think about it, right, if the manager is always busy, it's really hard for them to micromanage each person on an individual level and make sure that their priorities are being met, that they're happy, and that their goals are being reached. So it kind of falls on you as an employee to be proactive, right, and to constantly communicate with your boss and let them know that your priorities are being met and that your goals are being reached and that you're happy and that you're discussing any problems, any blockers you might have, and that you're getting feedback. So this is something I learned later on in my career, and I'm still working on right now. But you really want to take this opportunity on yourself. Don't wait for your employer to ask you for feedback or stuff like that. You want to really do that by yourself and be proactive. Take the reins on this kind of stuff. So guys, if I could sum it up, in a super quick way, I would say don't be afraid to fail. This is when you're supposed to make mistakes. If you're an intern, take risks. Don't be afraid to fail and break things often, and then keep pushing forward. And also be a sponge and just absorb as much knowledge as humanly possible. There's so many people you can learn from, and there's so much knowledge to be shared and gained. So take advantage of that. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. Like I said before, 90% of you guys are not subscribed, so a sub would definitely help. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree with anything as well. And as always, guys, take it easy and have a good day. Peace out.